Hey guys, this is John Scarborough. I got cut off on my last video, so this is going to end up being a two-part video. I'll probably post it all in one day. So if you were on the last video and you saw it got cut off there before I was done, just look for this video, and I'll put a link for both videos together and tie them in together. I apologize for that. My phone actually died on me. I should have it plugged in. I'm here in the house. Anyway, we were talking about spraying fences, and the last thing I had said was about the cost of spraying a fence. You know, you get into a lot of cost when it comes to using sprays, commercial sprays and stuff on your property. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't weigh out. Personally, I don't think it weighs out, and I have lots of other reasons for that. If you're interested in that, that's a topic for another video. That's just kind of the way we do things. For the most part, as far as the fences go and all like that, it really does come down to the washing out of the post, okay? It's a major problem here, okay? So going back to the net wire fences, without spraying those fences, those fence rows, what's going to happen is you're either going to have to weed eat them, okay? So if you have to weed eat them, well, then if you've ever run a weed eater on a net wire fence, you're gonna hate it, okay? We have one little stretch here, and it's down the driveway of somebody's property that I'm leasing right now, and I usually go in there and just weed eat it for them. It's just a short little stretch, and I just do it just to be nice, you know. I don't have to do it. It's just, you know, you lease property from somebody, and you kind of like stuff to look nice. It's right there at the road, but I hate it. I really do. Because it always catches the weed eater, and it just, you know, it just about slings it out of your hand, and then you're constantly having to put new string on it, and it just doesn't work real well. And I have a blade. When I'm going through my barbed wire fences and stuff, I'll go through and use that blade for cutting off trees and stuff. Well, with that net wire, you can't use that blade either, and you can't use a chainsaw or anything like that. So what ends up happening is some big trees and stuff will end up growing through there. I have some other places that I've leased, and actually a piece of property that I've actually bought and we're building on right now. There's a small amount of net wire on there, and there's actually trees that big around that have gone up through the net like this. The only thing you can do is cut it, possibly break your chain or get it caught up in there trying to cut it. When it does cut, it's going to fall over and bend your fence over. So it's just a hassle. I don't like net wire fence unless I have goats. The nice thing about goats is they're going to eat all your broadleaf and all your grass. They're going to keep that fence clean, and even your trees, your young trees that grow up through that fence, they will actually eat the bark off of that young tree and kill that young tree. So with goats specifically, I like net wire fence. Pretty much nothing else. I pretty much do not like net wire fence unless I'm raising a goat. And I guess that's partly why I don't raise goats, is partly, like I said, is because we don't already have net wire fence, and it's not really something I want to have to go back and re-fence all that stuff and like that. And then if you don't have the goat, if you ever get rid of the goats because you don't want to raise them or you don't have a market for them, now you get all this net wire fence and you can't keep it clean. So it's just kind of something you want to think about for yourself, okay? If you want to have some goats, or you want to have some really good diversity, net wire, it would be really good for perimeter fences. You would never have to worry about anything getting through. It would be really good. It's just, you really got to weigh out whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing, okay? There's a lot of people around here that have net wire fences, and they do very well. I'm pretty sure they spray their fences. And in some of those places, I've actually seen T-posts falling over and things like that. And I've seen them out there with tractors having to put dirt back on it and stuff. So it's up to you. Do whatever you think works for you. If you do get net wire, I would suggest getting a couple of goats or sheep or something at least, just to help keep that weed pressure down without you having to do a lot of the sprays and things like that. That's my take on it. Okay, so let's go into pipe now. Pipe fences is something I've built quite a few of. I've got a text here, so excuse me, everybody. Okay, I got rid of that. So pipe fences is something that I've done, built quite a few of for a lot of people. I have one actually right out here in my backyard I built for myself. We're just fixing to sell this house. It happens to be connected to the land of the guy that I'm actually leasing to, and he would like to have the house, so I'm going to sell the house to him, and then I'm moving away. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just something we're doing. But I built a pipe fence out here specifically because I like pipe fence and because I got the pipe for very, very low cost. I know a lot of people in the oil field I used to work with, so I can really get some good deals and stuff like that. So as far as pipe fence goes, it's a stronger fence. It will last for quite a while. Eventually it will rust away, but it will last for quite a while, especially if you build it right. If you're pretty decent at welding and fabrication, it can go up fairly quick, but it's going to be a slower fence whether you like it or not. It's just kind of how it is. And then, so my biggest reasons for building a pipe fence is mostly going to be for aesthetics. Okay, I'm building something that looks good to me. So like if I want to build something in my yard or something like that, I might consider pipe for that. The downfalls to pipe is it's a dead ground if you want to run electricity around it. So it's kind of takes some more precautions. It's doable. It is plenty doable, but it does take some more precautions. A little bit harder to go on ahead and be able to get an electric fence on your pipe fence. Okay, so that's kind of the downfalls to it. But other than that, they're long lasting, they're strong fences. I've even seen cows push on those fences and never push them over if they're built right. It's a good option, but you need to know what you're doing on that. And you really probably want to have a plan. If you want to do some kind of electric, you probably want to have a plan on how to do that electric. And I like the idea of doing the electric, like I said, because it keeps the cattle off of it. Okay. Now I think I've pretty much covered everything on fences. So I'm going to just go ahead and give a little bit of an overview. Again, we talked about perimeter fences. You want to make sure that they're good, strong fences. We talk about cross fences. You don't need to overbuild. I'm sorry, I made the camera shake. You don't need to overbuild your cross fences. You just need something mostly that keeps those mama cows from going through. Okay. Unless, of course, you have goats or sheep or something like that, you might need something a little bit different. We talked about electric fence. They have all sorts of different wonderful options in electric fence. Electric fence is my personal favorite, along with barbed wire or something like that. Together, I really like them together. And then we talked about barbed wire by itself. I don't love barbed wire by itself. And if you do go barbed wire, do not cheap out. Buy the good stuff. That's my one thing to say about barbed wire as well. And then we talked about net wire. Unless you're planning on doing goats, I mean, really even sheep, I don't think you should have to get barbed wire. No, I mean net wire. So really, unless you're planning on getting goats, in my opinion, net wire you don't really need to get. Okay, and that's just based on my own experience. Okay, and then we talked about pipe fence. Like I said, aesthetics, and it's a strong fence. One other thing I did not say about the pipe fence is I have built some corrals and stuff for a lot of other people, and I've built them for myself. And I do really like the pipe fence in those areas. In fact, I like using hog panel on the pipe fence. It makes for a very economical but very, very stout, strong pen that you can hold with that hog panel. You can hold any animal you want, just about any kind of animal you can use in your pen. So for that, I do really like the pipe because you've got a lot of different options you can do with that, and it's a strong, solid situation. You don't even have to worry about your gate sagging or anything like that. So I forgot to mention that. And I think that just about wraps it up. Like I said, the electric is my favorite. No matter what out of these fences I think I'd want some kind of electric, at least for the flexibility of being able to put in temporary paddocks or just simply temporary cross fences here and there. Okay, because you're going to run into a lot of money if you really put a cross fence, a permanent cross fence everywhere you really need one. Okay, especially if you got a lot of land. Okay, so anyway, guys, I think that wraps it up. Thanks for the question. on the fencing. And then like I said, I'm trying to grow my channel, guys. I would really appreciate a thumbs up, share this video, share the content that I'm putting out. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. I put out videos. Like I said, I do not put them out every single day. I don't put them out, and I don't have a pattern of when I put them out. I try to only put out videos when it's good content that I know something about. Okay, I'm not just going to go research something real quick and then come out here just so that I can put a video on there. There's enough good videos out there on YouTube and good resources that y'all can find from people that do know what they're talking about. So if I'm putting it on there, I do feel like I know something about it, okay? So subscribe to my channel. Everything I put on here, I'm very passionate about, and I know something about, okay? And don't forget to share this. And for everybody that's already subscribing, thank you very much.